Hello EVE players and you wannabe capsuleers out there in space. Welcome to another EVE Online video. This video is kind of different than the previous EVE Online videos that I did, in the sense that it's not really a tutorial, it's more like a highlight of a very important feature of the EVE Online universe, the EVE universe, namely the community that surrounds it. EVE recently turned 10 years old on May 6th, I think. The original game went live on May 6th, 2003. That's when the game got out of beta. Some of the players playing today have been around since the beta started, so they've been around for 10 plus years, and that's just, that's amazing. That's some dedication. There are even some guys who have been playing non-stop, who have had an active subscription since early beta, and that's just, deep respect for having dedication to a game like that. And actually these guys, I think there are 6 of them, 6 guys who had a subscription for 10 years and counting. They were given some nice goodies by CCP, the developer. They were given a nice new graphics card. I think it's one of the newest from Nvidia. So, it surely pays off in all the subscription fees that they paid to get something like that in return. So yeah, we're gonna talk a little bit about the community and how the community is a vital part of EVE Online, of the EVE universe, both in EVE Online and in Dust 514. So yeah, the community in EVE Online is unique in that it's very involved in the game. Not only because the community actually plays the game, of course, but also because the community will actively speak up when they don't like something and demand changes, as civilians would demand change from a government, sort of. I think that's a nice comparison. If we're not happy about something in EVE Online community, then you'll know it. You'll know it when people are not happy, and more often than not, CCP actually listens to the community and addresses that issue at some point. The infamous soon TM. The community in EVE Online exists in multiple forms. Of course, all the players are considered the community, but you can find interaction with the community on different levels. The first obvious one, of course, is the forums, EVE Online forums. I wasn't very big on visiting game forums, because more often than not it's just useless discussion and on all kinds of different topics. But the EVE Online forums are, despite all the trolls and all the retarded people that seem to inhabit that place sometimes, it does come with a lot of useful information there. You can find advice on markets, on industry, on PvP. You can see what people think about politics, alliance politics, corporation politics. You can make suggestions there, whatever you want. And it's, of course there will always be people who are not interested in a serious conversation. But for the most part, I think it's an interesting place that it's certainly worth a visit. If you have an active EVE subscription, I would suggest you go to the forums of EVE Online and log in and just partake in some conversation. Especially in the new pilots section of the forum, you'll find that people are very helpful, very eager to show you the ropes, as I am in my tutorials. So go have a look sometime. Another layer of the community is the CSM, which is something I think that's unique to EVE Online, or unique to any game ever created. In that the CSM stands for Council of Stellar Management, and is a sort of, player elected council. So the entire community can elect these individuals on the council, and this council is an official advisory organ for CCP. They are most often high-profile players who represent the entire community on what we want to see in game and how the game plays and what works and what doesn't. And this is taken so seriously that I think twice a year CCP flies all these guys, all the CSM members, flies them to Iceland on CCP's own cost. Doesn't matter where they live. Some live in the United States, the other live in Australia, the other live in Europe. They all just get them on a plane, get them to Iceland, and they meet face to face to discuss how EVE works and how, what needs to be changed, how the player base feels about certain things. And I think that's just amazing. It's great that people are dedicated enough to this game to actually take the time out of their day, take the time out of their week and go to Iceland, for the player community to make this game better and to give us one of the best MMOs ever created. And then there is the yearly player gathering for EVE Online, EVE Fanfest in Iceland. We actually have, and I'm sure there are other MMOs that have, conventions and all that kind of jazz, but EVE Fanfest I think is a special kind of gathering. It's organized by CCP themselves. They rent this huge convention hall in Reykjavik in Iceland and host Fanfest there every single year. They started in 2004, the first year after EVE Online was released. You can go drinking with the developers, you can attend all kinds of panels, art panels, alliance panels. There's the yearly alliance tournament, which is a PvP tournament where you can win some pretty nifty stuff. Cash prizes, computer gear, plexes, ISK, whatever you name it. Special ships, special titles, everything. So that's pretty awesome. The things happening there are just amazing. One of the things CCP does on FanFest is hold various keynotes, PowerPoint presentations basically, to announce where the game is going, what they're planning for it, what they're planning for the EVE universe, so including Dust 514 on the free-to-play shooter on the PlayStation. This FanFest they announced a huge expansion for Dust 514, a huge expansion for EVE Online, and they announced all kinds of cool stuff related to the EVE universe that got everyone pretty excited, to say the least. The upcoming expansion called ODYSSEY is focused on exploration mostly. They want to get back to the roots of EVE Online and make you want to discover new things, make the world more immersive and make it more fun to explore the depths of space, because EVE Online doesn't really feel like it has any depth to it, to me anyway. It's not like you ever feel lost in space or whatever, except in wormholes that can feel pretty lost because you don't know where you are. First step in the introduction of the exploration update is the new graphic system scanner, which is pretty cool. It kind of gives a graphical scan of the system around you when you undock or enter the system, and it shows you where all kinds of exploration sites are, or anomalies, ice belts, ore belts, PvE spawns, stuff like that. So let's see how CCP announced this exactly.
So once we undock, there's going to be a few lights, a few sirens to kind of give the start to a docking animation. And once we get outside, you'll see that the system scanner is going to run for the first time, which you saw a picture of before. Let's just go outside. And when we get outside, you'll see the scan, and then I'll show you a ship that we've been redoing some of the V3ing for. So you see our scanner runs. It's going to run again. It's going to leave some stuff behind. So of course, with some of this stuff, you might not want it on the screen always, so it'll run and it'll give you kind of a hint at what's in the system. If you want it on permanently, you go down to our little scanning menu down here and just switch it on.
Another new feature in the exploration update is the hacking and the archaeology sites. if you were into exploration and you ever found one of these, you know that they're, kind of boring. They're just, you had to use special tools on them, like a hacking machine or I don't even know the name. I'm not into exploration that much. Anyway, those are being changed to be called data and relic sites. And these sites have gotten a big makeover. They're more fun to explore, you get more new loot out of them, and it's just generally it feels more like you're exploring. So that's very fun. Next up, anyone who has started EVE Online and has decided to go the way of the pirate life will have realized that your security status has dropped like a brick. So every time you kill someone in Empire space, you take a huge security status hit. If it gets low enough, you get some, annoying negative side effects from having low security standings, and getting them back up was hell. Pure hell. You had to kill rats, and that was pretty much the only way you could do it. Kill belt spawns and stuff like that. NPCs killing, and that could take years upon years to, get your security status back up to where it should be. They introduced a new feature called tags for security status. It basically means that there will be new NPCs spawning in low security space that you can kill and loot for specific special tags. And if you turn in these tags to Concord, they will raise your security status slightly. So it's no longer a grind to get your security status back up. And then there is I'm not sure if it's the pinnacle of the update, the best part of the update, but it's certainly very cool, and that's the new Stargate and jump effects, or the war on loading bars, as one of the developers calls it. I don't really have to explain it to you, I can just, show it to you. Enjoy it.
Once we get to the Stargate, you'll see that that's new as well. We've changed out the Stargates. They look like nice and fresh and from 2013. And then you're going to see the first step in what I call the war on loading bars. So I hate loading bars. I think they're old-fashioned, and I'd much rather give people something beautiful to feel that the game is like seamless, right? Because EVE is played on a single server, a single shard, and then you get to a gate and it feels like you're kind of changing instances. So we're going to deal with that, and I'll show you the new effect once we get to the gate. It looks really awesome. We haven't done anything with the warp effect, that just looks gorgeous. Do you want me to turn it up a little bit? Let's turn it up a little bit here. Look at this. Oh. Actually, I'm going to turn it down just a little bit so I can talk a bit as well. All right, anyway, so let's use this radial menu here, right? Doesn't that look gorgeous? Yeah. All right, so you know what? Let's take a look at the new warp effect, and this is like, if you don't get a nerd boner right now, something's completely wrong with you. Take that, loading bar.
And if you thought, the EVE players were happy with a graphical change, let me just show you what happens when an actual game mechanic is changed that's been bugging everyone for years. In this case, I'm talking about probing, which is the practice of, using scan probes to find stuff in space. And in the past, you had to manually align these into a specific pattern and grid or whatever you want to use, so you can scan for the most efficient, way. Now CCP has introduced probe formations, and that's received pretty well.
We're also going to put in some preset formations, and we're going to let you. So you guys really like probes, eh? We're going to put in some new formations that you can kind of toggle around with. We're also going to let you launch 7 probes at once, because that's the optimal number. Of course, if you hate math and science and you don't want to be efficient, you can still use your 3.
So yeah, people were pretty excited about that one. I think they were even more excited than with the Stargate, Stargate effects. So that's pretty cool. And it's one of these are just a small list of changes that have been announced on Fanfest, and there's still many more things that are coming in the Odyssey expansion, which is completely free. And of course, last but not least, I'm gonna end this video by congratulating CCP and congratulating the EVE Online community and EVE Online itself with its 10th birthday. It was a decade of, pure awesome game. It's a game that changed the entire game industry to some degree. At least I like to think so. So let's go to the 20th birthday and keep EVE awesome. Because I don't think I know any game or MMO that has lasted this long. Maybe aside from World of Warcraft. But still, 10 years in the making. Good job CCP, good job EVE Online community. And with that, I'm gonna say goodbye. Enjoy the gifts that you've been given on the server for the birthday. And just as a goodbye gift, enjoy this last trailer. See you later.